It's rallied for the third straight session and they did end with healthy gains. The Nifty slammed a century. It has surged past the 7,400 mark. In fact, today is the highest closing level for the Nifty in the last 1 month. 7,500 not far away, just 25 points away. Sensex on its part surged over 350 points as it moved closer towards 25,000 points over the last 3 sessions, and that's after the union budget. The Sensex has gained a whopping 1,600 points. The Nifty on its part has gained nearly 500 points. Ekta Batra now joining us with the day's market action. Ekta, what are you attributing this stellar rally to? Is it the budget?
Well, we have recovered from that intraday low, that 52-week low of around 68.20 odd that we had hit on Monday itself by around 600 points for the Nifty in particular, giving you an indication that yes, it's possibly the lack of negatives that came out from the budget which has fueled the rally that we've seen till now. So like you mentioned, it was a stellar day for us in today's trading session as well. We closed at a 1-month high with, in fact, the Nifty ending at the close to the high point of the day for 3 consecutive sessions, giving you an indication that maybe the uptrend could continue for the next couple of days. For today in particular, the Nifty also took out the 50-day moving average. What stood out today was basically the risk on trade that was very evident, and that was evident in the entire commodity space with the Nifty metals index up over 4% What really stood out was also the intraday recovery that we saw in the bank Nifty. So if you saw the intraday chart of the bank Nifty through the day, it was quite a choppy session, but it really picked up pace in the second half of the trading session, and it recovered around 1% from the day's low, only to close at the high point of the day for the Nifty bank. The mid-cap index also was sluggish through the trading session as compared to the frontline indices, but it managed to also close at the high point of the day with a gain of around 0.8%. So the mid-cap index too saw late buying along with the Nifty bank. What really stands out is that at this point in time, for the second half of the trading session, the European markets were quite sluggish. They were either negative or marginally positive. So no real big cues coming out for the European markets, which we took home, and hence it possibly gives you an indication that most of the gains were possibly isolated in nature for the Indian markets. However, the Asian markets had a good session today. Advanced decline ratio improved to over 2:1, and overall the sentiment was very strong. In terms of sectors and stocks, like I mentioned, what stood out was the Nifty metals, which was up around 4.8%. So Vedanta, Tata Steel, Hindalco, it was all about them in today's trading session. Capital goods, BHEL and Larsen & Toubro, all of them saw buying of over 6% today. Dr. Reddy's US FDA approval for an anti-nausea drug which helped them. Other gainers included Reliance and ONGC, positive news which came in there as well. Losers, however, included something like an ICICI Bank. So if you see the intraday chart, there was a recovery for ICICI Bank, but nonetheless, that one was down around 0.9%. Heavyweights such as ITC was sluggish, down around 0.4%, testing its 200-day moving average along with Maruti. From the mid-cap gainers and losers, lot of action again in the metal space. So JSPL was one of the top gainers in terms of volumes as well. KPIT Technologies saw a good breakout in terms of volumes as well as price. Just Dial, Dr. Lal's at a record high, Walkart also, which gained for the second consecutive trading session. On the losing side was something like PC Jewelers, which is also an F&O stock. So strong volumes on PC Jewelers on the downside, and SKS Microfinance also, that stock was down around 3%. So overall, yes, strong session for our markets today. Let's see whether we manage to end budget week on a high as well.
So Nifty almost at 7,500. The Sensex up 1,600 points in the last 3 days. Thanks a lot, Ekta, for joining us. With that, we heard Ekta talk about the global market.